Oh, hello guys. Oh, I cannot sit down. I cannot sit down just yet. My chair is too short. So if I sit down, I'll be like, okay, just practice kung fu. Hello guys, thank you for watching. It's going to be a video as well, so I'm doing this as a video. Would anyone come? No, no one will come. All right, no one is here yet, or maybe there is. I don't know. Anyway, so I read Rome. This is the Bible, right? I read Rome, and I feel like I got something that I can share with you guys, which is Rome 4, verse 4. You know what? I'm going to search it. The King James version, Rome 4, verse 4, King James version. To him that work is the reward not reckoned of grace, but of debt. But to him that, this is verse 5, but to him that work not, but believe on him that justified the ungodly, his faith is counted for righteousness. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let me repeat that again. Now to him that work is the reward not reckoned of grace, but of debt. I mean, like if he has the right to his rewards, right? It's not a gift. It is not a courtesy, but it is a reward. No, it is a reward for work. It is his right. Okay, but what if you don't work? Now, guys, the problem is, I hope I could reach some of you guys. It's been a while since I haven't got a main job. Um, I'm not talking about status. I'm talking about projects. So pretty bad. I'm not really in a honorable position right now. So it's pretty dangerous. I don't like it. Anyway, but guys, here's the deal. Here's my excuse, right? Imagine if in the future there's going to be abundance. Let's say people can eat whatever they want, and they have UBI. Let's say, for example. But the problem is, if people did not work, eventually there's not going to be people working. Okay, if we build a momentum towards not working, it's going to be harder and harder to stop it. So there's going to be more and more people not working, not working, not working, and the economy is not going to have goods and services, and the UBI is going to collapse. So it's probably just good for a year or something. All right. There's going to be an argument against that, and dude, guys, I personally have an argument against that, but that's the concern, right? But imagine that's the future. Imagine that a world with UBI somehow there's an experiment, okay, and we all got money, we all got food, everything basic needs is fulfilled. There are other needs as well that is also important, but we can work on it. But there are basic needs, we are okay. Now the problem is, guys, that's the problem. People probably are not going to work anymore, but the solution is to go to school. So this is something that you can find on the internet, a project. I forgot the name. It has been around since the 90s or the 80s. They live in this circle, okay? Maybe it's not Terrence Howard, but probably he got an inspiration for that. It is actually an academic, respectable academic that proposed this, that there's this project called, I forgot the name. It's very, very, if you play Final Fantasy 8, you kind of got the spirit a little bit, There's a circle and people live around it. There's a town center in the middle. Everyone's needs is are fulfilled. A little bit communist, pretty communistic, but you can fix that in a way. But but okay, guys, that project is called, I forgot the name of the project. It has been planned, guys, whether it would work or would not work. So because people's daily needs are fulfilled, they don't have exactly jobs to do. They would go to school. They would learn and practice their aspirations. And so back to Rome, we read the in verse 5 it says, but okay, the English is verse 5 it says, I'm sorry, my probably it's too not to the point. I get to the point so long. Sorry about that. But to him that work not, but believe on him that justified the ungodly, his faith is counted for righteousness. Why does Paul compare? What an excuse, right, guys? If you have high IQ, you probably understand where I'm going here already. Uh, why does Paul say it verse 4 and then verse 5? He legitimizes school, guys, isn't it? He legitimizes people not working but go to school. Would be counted as okay. It's equivalent. It is an equivalent of work. And yes, we do have that. Like nowadays, we have professors, full-time academics, and it is proven, guys. It is proven. This is thousands of years ago. It is proven that it is actually fine. Okay, and he talked it to the people of Rome back in the days in Rome as well. We know philosophers, right? Full-time philosophers, and yeah, and that is counted as righteousness. I mean, like if you're industrialist or something, you would like, oh, okay, it's different than work. Yes, totally. We acknowledge that. We acknowledge that work, like directly producing food, directly producing health, directly producing sanitation, security, it's not the same as just researching. It is not a direct. It's not just a direct. It's a little bit different. However, we should be, if you if you're like me currently are not doing that, um, we could compensate for that, guys. We could have our honor still. It is honorable still, at least in the eyes of the church, at least in the eyes of Christianity, and which is our God is God of the truth, which is reality, which is we claim it to be realistically salvageable. It is realistically salvageable by actually learning. Okay, guys. So if you guys are learning, you keep on improving your faith, having the discipline of like accounting, the faith of accounting, the faith of, because faith in Hebrew is the substance of our hope and proof of something that is not seen. Imagine this is like thousands of years ago. Uh, Faith, they already talk about disciplines. They already talk about math, logic, and that is faith. We have logic about God. That is faith. And there's different sizes of faith, like small faith, like a sesame seed, and obviously the bigger faith. And how do you grow your faith? By listening to the word of God. So that is obviously like I confirm it. Like I think this is my statement, right? Faith is like, it's like discipline. It's like you have an accounting discipline, you have a math discipline, you have Christianity discipline, which is faith. If you keep on improving your faith, guys, if you keep on, what do you call it? Verse 5 again, let me read that again. To him that work not, but believe on him that justified the ungodly, his faith is counted for righteousness. What is this righteousness? What's the value of this righteousness? Verse 4. Okay. Now to him that work is the reward, not reckoned of grace. It is not a grace, it is not a charity, but of debt. It's something that you earn, something that you earn. That's the comparison. So, what do you guys think? I think I have delivered the point. Yeah. Ugh. What do you guys think? Uh, Please leave a comment in the comment section. Okay, so I want to ramble a little bit more because there are stuff that I also thought about when I am thinking about this. Is um, um, how about reading on David said, joy to the people who counted as righteous by God, not based on his deeds, uh, but be happy for those who are forgiven. I am translating because I'm not using English Bible for now. Who are forgiven and sins were redeemed. And then be happy for humans that sins or mistakes is not counted by God upon him or her. So, so if you are forgiven, like it is also as good as earning, guys. So that is another thing. It is separate from faith as well. So when you commit sin, uh, you're making trouble. When you are working, you are solving problem. So when you are forgiven, it is like getting the things that is grace. That is it's like getting money, but in terms of forgiveness. Also forgiveness also should be counted in the GDP. Right, right, guys, because that's the logic. And then um, is this happy thoughts uh, applies only for those who are circumcised or those who are not circumcised? Because we have to say that to Abraham, to Abraham, to yes, Abraham. What's the English? Abraham. Uh, Faith is counted as righteousness. So yes, like that, guys. So if what God seeks, where can I find faith in this world? That is what God seeks. That's what He said. He's looking for faith. So I think, where can I find, like, it is relatable, very relatable, guys, when we have a company and we are searching for an expert, right? Where can I find an expert? Where can I find someone who could solve the problem, right? It is like that, um that is what valuable, that is what's gold to God. Okay, love, faith, and hope. And if you want to grow that faith, you got to learn. And I think it's not just about faith. Faith is logic about God. But if you could connect your discipline, like other discipline that is secular, to God, to faith, I think it's not that hard. I think it's not that. I think it is already halfway there. If you already have chemistry discipline, if you already have physics or security related disciplines, all you got to do is think about God and how would God relate to your to each concept, and then you would have faith, and that is what God is looking for. That is what God is. That's working. That is working. And then after that, what else? What else? I do remember something. And where where is the thing is being considered before or after circumcision, not after circumcision, um, but before circumcision. And the mark of the circumcision is accepted as the stamp of truth based on faith that he shows before he was circumcised. Therefore, uh, he became the father of all who believe and not uncircumcised, so that the truth is counted upon them as well. I think Abraham was a Jew. Be, Abraham wasn't a Jew, but Abraham is the father of the Jew. And if people like he's like everybody else in the world, we all could be like Abraham, um, and that is out of belief. And here's the thing, guys: belief, when we talk about belief, believing something, right, we're talking about the truth, right? It is not actually, guys, it's not that easy to believe. It's not. It's pretty hard to believe something, um, because it's something that is based on the truth. So if you want to say, oh, Christianity is easy, it's all you got to do is believe. But belief itself, guys, is complex. Believing took discipline, took understanding. So that's why I like to say that you guys, you gotta obey the law, because if you don't obey the law and you say, and you just complain, oh, tax law is like this, freaking piracy law is like this, and um, you want to say, oh, that's why I don't obey the law, because the law sucks and everything. Have you ever tried, are you like, your attitude, you really makes a difference, really makes a difference in the way that if you try, if you're the kind of guy who would obey the law, who seek first to be meek, guys, you would understand the details inside, right? Because if you're disciplined, right, you can understand all of these different problems in the details, and from there you could lobby the lawmakers based on the details in the field. If you just say, oh, if you are apathetic about the law, you would not have the faith, you would not have the discipline, you would not have the structure of belief, because reality is a structure. The truth are sequences, right? Time are sequences, and it is complex, guys. And for us to be believing in reality from our point of view, it's so valuable. So so that's what I'm saying. Believing is complex. Just to be able to believe is valuable. My hair, man, is expensive. For someone to believe in something, it's pretty expensive. It's not that, oh, you gotta believe. It's not fooling yourself. It's not like lying to yourself that, oh, Jesus is God. I believe that Jesus is God. I go to the church, and then you become a crazy person. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. That's not it. That's not it. That's wrong. The right way to go to have faith is actually to listen and learn, so that you would understand, oh, it's like discipline, it's like learning the law, it's like learning math. You wouldn't have faith until you have it. You would know when you have the faith. If you don't have the faith, you don't have the faith. That's why Paul was talking about, do not think about things that are out there. Do not think of the things that are beyond your faith. Okay, some people could think about that. Some people go to the moon because their logic is there. It's just there. So you would know, right? You have the discipline or you don't have this discipline. relatively you would know, or maybe you didn't know, but when you were wrong, you can say, oh yeah, I was wrong. So that is faith as well. That is a proof of faith. That is like, oh guys, I discovered it right in this video stream. Thank you, YouTube. So guys, that is a proof of faith. If you can say you are wrong, you can audit yourself. That means you have faith. So wait a minute, guys. So Jesus said, if you have faith as big as a sesame seed, you can move mountains. So just the very small, the very dot of faith. So how do you prove that? You can correct yourself about God. So if you can correct yourself about God, you have confidence, right? That you have faith. And then from there on, keep on going from there. Well, as long as the correction is correct. Okay, okay. I wanted to say something else, but I haven't got to there. Uh, I kind of remember it a little bit, but I forgot about it again. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm talking about momentum. All right. So when you are because I'm pretty old, right? And I'm like, oh, people probably is not going to hire me because of the age. And I was thinking, that is kind of unfortunate. Old people are strong, little kids are as weak as a very old person, but they can learn so much. Why can't people like me, be like little kids to be able to be learning that hard? So I got the answer, guys. The answer is momentum. So it's not that the old people are weak, so that they could not grow anymore. The problem is throughout life we build up momentum towards our faith. Okay, we already learned something, and if our faith or our logic or our discipline turn out to be irrelevant someday, that is hard, guys. That is hard to kind of break the momentum and relearn something else. So it's very important for us to be wise, guys. From now on, be wise. Do not do not be do not lie. Is the opposite of manna. It is the opposite of manna. If manna dropped from heaven to bless us, it is from hell. Lies are from hell to 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 I don't know, to harm us. So that is the problem, because throughout life, we already have the momentum, and if we want to be like little kids again, you probably the consequence of that would be probably breaking some of that momentum, and it's expensive, guys. And to be able to be relevant to the new things, it's pretty expensive to break those momentum. So you gotta prioritize on what is sustainable. And I am pretty lucky that here's a little story, because I am a social person, right? uh, I like the way I do social. Sometimes I compete, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes when I am not competing, I am molding. So this is a concept that I want to share with you all, right? You have friends, a group of friends, like one, two, three, four people. We subconsciously usually are molding. We saw what are the things that the our friends are best at, and we develop things to cover for their to support, right? And for me, I see that a lot of people are really good at memorizing. So I would focus on understanding, like conceptual understanding of stuff, because I think, you know what, I'm going to be a contributor of my society that way, because saturated memory is saturated. But now I am old. I didn't train that memory part, guys. And I become like, and it is also like, I think in the future as well, some kids are like, it's going to be the opposite, right? Some kids, there are going to be some kids, there, especially in nowadays, the era of internet onslaught of information. People are going to focus on understanding, will focus on no like conceptual stuff rather than memory, because conceptual could cover for the weakness of low memory, for the understanding of the concept could kind of cover that weakness, because it kind of you could figure out stuff, uh, even though you don't really remember it, so you could figure it out to cover the weakness. And in the future, because onslaught of information of the internet, kids nowadays, Gen Z or Gen AA something, it's going to have like a really good order of priorities of what information to take. And I recommend stop using piracy and start developing your own community, give thanks, and you would know, you would have that order of priority. Okay, next. There's going to be little kids out there who's like me, but that little kid's probably going to focus on memory. And don't go easy on him, right? Go easy on him, on her. It's but probably in the future also it's going to be balanced, right? Like 50-50, because things we already understand about stuff. And yeah, guys, my memories, I need to improve on my memory, guys. I really that is the problem as well. And people appreciates memory, a good memory, more than they appreciate more than they appreciate debate, conflict, and criticism. So if you have good memory, people like that. If you have good skill for debates, people are apprehensive about that. And that is a problem, dude, because I really like want to get things right. And yeah, anyway, guys, let's read on, and then after that, I'm going to close the stream, um, for not the and for not because of the Torah, uh, Abraham got promises from for him and his descendants that he would own the world, but because of the truth and based on faith, he owned the world. I really like, probably should translate it better. And because if they wish for the Torah to accept the part of promises from God, so useless is the faith, and God canceled is the promise. Okay, so so Paul is saying that it is actually about the faith. It is not about being good at your discipline. It's not about the thing that you do based on the law. Okay, so um, the way you understand it is this: the law that you learn builds up your faith. So you cannot have a good faith without actually learning about the law and do it. Have the meek attitude. Have a meek attitude of wanting to prioritize the order, right? And then from there you can build up your faith. You will do a good job and everything else, especially in this case the law that is given by God, which is the Torah. And when you do it, you build up your faith. So that is what Paul is saying. Paul is saying, no, guys, you don't understand. The act of doing the Torah is for the sake of your faith, and that is the thing that leads you to whatever we want, whatever the things that is good. It is not the act of doing it, but it is the faith that is being searched for from God. For God is the faith that God is looking, because of course the act of doing it is valuable if it's good, But ultimately, sometimes the act of doing it, what seems to be doing it, is not doing it because the logic is wrong. Because like when you have the law and it says, when you have the law and it is not updated, or it's not about that as well. Like it, have it's a trade-off, guys. Having a meek attitude is like the attitude to be orderly. Of course you got to prioritize in doing the law, but the problem is, you thought is as the most important thing, and that is what saves your life. I think it's not that. It's about being humble, and it's about being wise as well. Wisdom is about, in my opinion, wisdom is about doing what, uh, the attitude of, in the face of the unknown, right? Intelligence is about the things, is playing with the things that you already know. But then wisdom is about, uh, playing with things that you don't know. How would you approach the things that, the unknown? So that, I think it's both intelligence and wisdom as well. I mean, so so it's not that I'm not encouraging people to just break the law if it is not logical. I encourage you to prioritize, uh, the law very, very high. Justice is number one. Okay, sometimes the law could be unjust, right? And that is where the very, very, very slim but important, difference between someone who just blindly obeys the law and someone who have faith. Not me, because sometimes I don't, my faith is wrong. uh you probably, the difference between that guy and you is there. It's very slim, but Paul writes all of this in the Bible for that little difference, because that is very important. But guys, at the base of it, if you read James, you gotta have that meek attitude. You gotta be a sheep, guys. You gotta be a follower. I mean, not all the time when things that are wrong, you got to know when you are wrong. But where, how do you get that? How do you build up that faith, that discipline, that knowledge, that system of trust, that wisdom? Also through obedience. Because if you are not obedient, you wouldn't see the devil in the details. Or maybe you could, but why would it's kind of two steps rather than one step. And the act of obeying as well is actually, needed, guys, because I have a hard time for some laws. There are some laws that I don't agree, but there are a lot of laws that are supporting my life, and I want to respect that. The problem is, it's hard to change that freaking annoying, like evil law, guys. Why? Because people just don't care, man. People don't give a damn, man. They don't care, and it's so frustrating, guys. Like, see, like, stop using piracy. A lot of music is available for very cheap, and use it for your business. What's wrong with you guys? You got to give something back. Isn't that trading? Isn't that economy? It's always there, and your pattern is going to have a momentum, and it's going to mess up the economy if you're not, for God's sake, if you're not respecting, don't sell below cost. And people are making art and people are making music. It's not to sell below cost, guys. Or maybe if they do, they want to usurp, expand, and colonialize the music market. And don't don't fall into that, because you have your own community are musicians, your own community are musicians, and it will lead to their prosperity as well. Like that, guys. So thank you for listening to me, and I hope I could listen to you too. Have fun. Goodbye.